Kevin is one of the greatest comedians that I've ever seen. And Kevin is one of the greatest men that I've ever known. Hello, Jerry.
You lying! You lying! You're lying! He's lying! He didn't even buy it yet! Listen, he's lying!
I don't know anything about the freak off. And they all look at me like... And they be like, well, how are these people you know is that freak off?
When Dave Chappelle speaks, the whole room leans in because he blends honesty with humor in a way nobody else can. But this time, his words felt heavier, like he was pointing at something deeper than just jokes. Right now, the entertainment world is in shock after Sean Diddy Combs was taken into custody in New York. One of the biggest names in the music scene is sitting behind bars, facing serious accusations that shook the entire industry. He was denied bail, and now he waits in a cell for trial, while new reports about his private life and business moves keep surfacing, making the situation look even more complicated for him.
And then every once in a while, something terrible happens. And I'm like, oh no! Oh, we got hit! And Bobby be like, oh, keep going, Playboy.
And while the spotlight is burning on Diddy, a different conversation started bubbling from the shadows. Dave Chappelle, one of the smartest voices in comedy, is stepping back into public view, and he's speaking on everything that's happening. He recently touched on the situation while on Saturday Night Live, and the crowd noticed something strange because between the punchlines, he seemed to be hinting at something bigger. It felt like he was pointing at hidden connections, like Diddy, Kevin Hart, and how the entertainment machine really works behind closed doors. People left wondering if he accidentally let the truth slip, or if he was dropping messages in plain sight. To understand why Chappelle's comments hit so hard, you first gotta look at Diddy's situation.
So I've had people throw millions of dollars in my face to do something I didn't want to do. And what?
He didn't just wake up in trouble. This came after years of stories circling around him, some quiet, some loud, and now everything is falling right in front of the public eye. Even though everything is still under investigation, the info coming out has people asking serious questions. Some say friends and insiders whispered that Diddy wasn't just a superstar. He was someone who could make big things move with just one call, which is why seeing him locked up feels unreal to many.
You know, the internet is going wild on him, saying that he was a curator and a narrator of one of the Diddy parties and got caught on tape.
And with Chappelle talking like he knows more than he's saying, people are watching every word. For years, Diddy was seen as the blueprint for success. He rose from practically nothing and built himself into a major force. Record labels, clothing, liquor brands. He had his hands in everything. He wasn't just wealthy, he held real influence, the kind that could shift careers overnight.
Oh! Did the camera catch that? Got the camera!
People fought to be in his circle because standing next to him meant doors opening that most folks couldn't even get close to. But now that same power is under a serious spotlight. Investigators are claiming his empire wasn't just built on business deals, but also on control, pressure, and manipulation. These claims are pulling back the curtain on a version of Hollywood most people never see, one ruled by favors, silence, and hidden hands. As things get tougher for Diddy, more voices are coming forward. People who once stayed quiet, old friends, former staff, past collaborators are slowly sharing stories about what they say they experienced. And every new story adds more chaos to everything already going on. Dave Chappelle isn't speaking from the inside. Yes, he's talking like someone who's watched this industry up close but never allowed it to own him. He's seen the glamour, the pressure, the secrets, both from the front row and from far back. And that's exactly when Kevin Hart's name starts popping up.
Oh, Fab came to party. Oh,
Because while Diddy's story centers on power, Kevin's image has always been about being the friendly, positive guy. But lately, people say they're starting to see a different picture. Kevin Hart just can't seem to escape the drama lately. Folks online are whispering that the clean, friendly act he shows on camera is just that, an act. Behind the scenes, some claim he behaves very differently, way more sharp, way more strategic. Then clips surfaced of him in heated conversations, including someone shouting, "If everything stops today, can you survive? Yes, you're a liar. Do you have a home? I make more money on transit. Do you have a home? That moment shocked people because it showed a side of Kevin that didn't match the smiling image everyone knows. On top of that, there are quiet talks that Kevin tries to get close to certain powerful figures so he can climb the Hollywood ladder faster. Nothing is proven, but people are definitely talking alright, and the timing of all this has everyone looking twice. Some people even go as far as calling Kevin a straight up industry plant, which sounds unbelievable at first, until you start watching certain clips and hearing the conversations happening online. Fans swear that while Kevin and Diddy were known for throwing flashy, high energy parties, the real story was never about the music or the VIP crowd. There were whispers that behind those velvet ropes, something way deeper was happening.
Everything else. I had money before you and you.
These events looked like harmless celebrations, but many now think they were actually quiet power meetings dressed up as parties. Behind the flashing lights and champagne, deals were being formed through private conversations and silent agreements. In those expensive rooms, Kevin and Diddy's bond reportedly turned into more than just friendship. They became connected through a small, exclusive network where influence was traded like money and status meant everything.
Every black man in movies in a dress at some point in their career, I'll be connecting them down like, wow, these brothers gotta wear a dress.
People say those nights were filled with ambition, temptation, and things nobody wanted to talk about in the open. It wasn't just about having fun. These gatherings were strategic moves, building alliances that helped people climb higher in Hollywood. Now, old talk about Kevin's past, rumors about personal situations, questionable choices, and messy accusations are popping back up again, but this time the volume is turned up.
A weak person cannot get to sit here and talk to you. Ain't no weak people talking to you. So what is happening in Hollywood?
It's wild because after all the headlines, most folks would lay low, but Kevin seems to be stepping right back into the spotlight like he's not worried about anything. And who's still right there in the shadows? Diddy. Even with everything crashing around him, his name keeps floating around these stories like he's somehow always part of the picture.
And what is the new Pope doing?
Pope Conventionate is lifting her arms into her signature muscle man pose.
People can't help but wonder if their connection runs way deeper than anyone realized, especially now that Diddy's situation is front page news and Kevin's name keeps getting dragged into the conversation. These rumors might sound unbelievable, but the timing has everybody watching with wide eyes. These two keep popping up in the same places, same clubs, same late night after parties, and now with new footage coming out, people are starting to say their relationship looks way too close for comfort.
Not that was a dress, but I was like, no, I'm gonna look stupid. At the end of the day, you gotta know that you're a brand.
It's no secret that anything involving Diddy always comes wrapped in mystery, and the talk around him never truly stops. Now folks are starting to wonder if some of Kevin's old controversies, relationship issues, rumored cover-ups, questionable business choices might connect back to Diddy's influence. Was Kevin pulled into Diddy's private circle, a place built on quiet rules, private loyalties, and secrets that come with a high price? Then another old moment resurfaced. Back in 2010, when Kevin hosted Diddy's Dirty Money album release party, he was sitting on the edge of a hot tub, cracking jokes, surrounded by a bunch of women, looking like the stress-free, funny guy. But now, knowing everything that's been said about Diddy recently, people are replaying that clip.
It made a shift from money, I'm getting it, what you're not getting, the life that I'm living, to what we as people need to open our eyes to, what we need to understand.
With a whole new angle, the big question on everyone's mind is, what did Kevin really know back then? The questions are piling up even faster now that Diddy is facing serious accusations involving ST and racketeering. Having Kevin connected to someone accused of extremely serious crimes suddenly doesn't look so harmless. Old videos keep circulating showing Kevin right next to Diddy at parties, private gatherings, exclusive hangouts, and fans are not ignoring those moments anymore.
It's incredibly stressful.
Yeah.
And I feel like in a lot of instances, I was deliberately being put through stress because, when you're a guy that generates money, people have a vested interest in control.
What's making people uneasy is the depth of this connection. This wasn't a casual friendship. They have years of birthday parties, private mansion nights, and closed-door events on record. Their bond looked tight, almost unbreakable, and now that's starting to raise eyebrows. Diddy had a reputation for hosting massive, ultra-exclusive parties filled with influential people, from top actors to high-level business players. But now that disturbing claims are floating around about FO situations, substances, and more going on behind those closed doors, even guests who once seemed like they were just in the room are being looked at again. People are wondering who was really clueless, and who might have been more aware than they admitted. Meanwhile, Diddy's legal team is pushing back against every accusation, denying everything, but Kevin Hart, he's staying quiet, and his silence is starting to feel loud. Fans are saying that if Kevin knew absolutely nothing, he would have said something by now.
I mean, I'm a conspiracy theorist to a degree. Like, when I connect dots that maybe shouldn't be connected, I don't know.
At least to distance himself. Instead, he's keeping his head down, and that move alone is creating even more questions. With every old clip resurfacing and every new rumor circling, people are watching Kevin like never before. The deeper this story goes, the harder it gets to believe this was just a surface level friendship. Kevin hasn't been charged or officially tied to any crime, and there's no solid proof he knew about anything questionable going on around Diddy. Still, fans keep asking the same thing. How much did Kevin really know? And if he did know something, why stay quiet now that everything is falling apart? One person who refused to hold his tongue was DJ Academics. He spoke up fast and didn't sugarcoat a thing, breaking down the strange, almost unreal vibe behind Diddy's famous parties. His commentary mixed shock with sharp humor, describing a lifestyle that looked shiny on the surface but felt unsettling just beneath it. From odd interactions to wild behavior, Academics described those nights as a world where fame and privacy blend together, where the closer you get to the VIP section, the more confusing things start to look. Through his storytelling, that night didn't feel like a normal party. It came across like a chaotic mix of luxury and tension. People were laughing, drinking, and acting like nothing was wrong.
We got to get Ricky Lake off the air, y'all. We have got to get Ricky Lake off the air. Where does she find these brothers?
All while you could sense hidden energy running through the room. Fame was everywhere, but so were secrets, and Academics didn't stop at telling what happened. He broke down the power games and quiet rivalries moving in the background. He painted a picture of how influence moves behind closed doors, how famous people can be all smiles in public, then turn into silent competitors once cameras shut off. As he replayed the most intense clips, Academics pointed out the unspoken hierarchy, how certain celebs held the room, and how others fell in line, especially when it came to Kevin Hart standing beside Diddy. It felt like a silent tug of war for position, attention, and respect. His raw breakdown ripped away the glamorous image and forced viewers to see Hollywood as a system based on reputation, leverage, and survival, not just dreams and red carpets.
I never witnessed the happy years between my mom and my dad. I only saw the downward spiral.
Then came the clip that set the internet on fire. Kevin Hart was caught on camera in what many called a tense exchange with someone sitting at his table. Reports claim the person Kevin seemed to be talking down to wasn't just some random guest, it was one of his longtime friends. Once you look at it like that, the new claims about Kevin mistreating or stepping over other black artists don't sound so far off anymore. Suddenly, the clip hits way harder, especially when you remember how friendly and supportive Kevin appears on camera. Viewers couldn't believe how sharp his tone seemed, especially towards someone supposedly in his inner circle. The video instantly sparked heated debates about how Kevin really treats the people around him, especially those who stood beside him before the fame. Just listen to what he says in that moment. His tone, his expression, the way he carries himself. It shocked a lot of people and made them wonder if the good guy image is just another Hollywood mask. And with all these old clips surfacing during Diddy's current situation, the timing suddenly feels way too perfect to ignore. It's tough to shake it off once you've seen that clip. After it went viral, a lot of viewers started believing Kevin Hart might actually enjoy showing his status over other black entertainers. That moment brought old conversations back to life, stories where Kevin didn't look like the supportive, friendly figure people thought he was. According to different sources, several well-known names in the industry have quietly raised concerns about Kevin.
If we can, let's just put the camera a little this way, just so we're not, I don't want my shot to even, I don't want it to come close to the bed.
They say he hasn't always stood behind younger black talent the way the public assumes. Even Dave Chappelle has hinted at Kevin's complicated reputation, suggesting he's made questionable choices while chasing bigger checks in a higher spot in Hollywood. For years, Hollywood has been heavily criticized for pushing harmful images and stereotypes, especially ones that affect how people view black individuals. And now, this situation is pushing that discussion forward again. People are looking at how limited opportunities can push black entertainers into roles they normally wouldn't take just to stay relevant and keep working. And while things have slowly improved, today's performers do have more control over their roles. There's still real pressure to do whatever it takes to stay in the spotlight. Many new generation entertainers started breaking boundaries, even taking cross-dressing roles just to stay competitive and gain attention. Kevin Hart has stepped into that lane too. Remember when he went on SNL dressed as a young girl? Viewers instantly called him out, saying his actions didn't match the image he tried to present publicly. What made it worse was how confidently he once said in an interview that he would never put himself in an embarrassing position just to amuse Hollywood. But not long after, he went right on national television in a way people felt went against his own brand and pride. That upset a lot of folks, especially those who respected him for staying true to his roots. Reports say Dave Chappelle wasn't happy with that move at all. Chappelle has always been known as someone who stands firm, even when Hollywood pushes back. He's not afraid to call things out, especially when he feels black entertainers are being mistreated or pressured into roles that don't serve them. People close to the situation claim Chappelle was disappointed by Kevin's decision and that he shared some surprising behind-the-scenes information about what might have pushed Kevin to agree to it. According to Chappelle, Kevin wasn't making those choices on his own. He was being influenced by powerful figures behind the curtain. He hinted that Kevin may have been pressured by people tied to like a quiet circle of influence. Some call it the Illuminati. Chappelle even implied that Jay-Z could be connected to that network. Because Kevin and Jay-Z have been publicly cool for a long time, those whispers exploded online in no time. Suddenly, people were convinced there might be more to their friendship than just business or respect. The internet began questioning if Kevin and Jay-Z were tied to something bigger, something that moves silently in the background of the entertainment world. No proof has surfaced, but the idea alone was enough to make fans look at Kevin through a different lens, especially now when so many unanswered questions are floating around his name, and with Diddy's situation unfolding at the same time. People are finding it harder to believe any of this is just coincidence. Jay-Z and Kevin Hart aren't the only big names caught in these Illuminati whispers. People still talk about that moment Dave Chappelle walked away from a $50 million deal and dipped out to South Africa. Back then, everyone acted like he lost his mind, but according to Chappelle, the truth was way deeper than anyone realized. He said Hollywood's pressure started pushing him toward jokes and projects that went against his personal values. Instead of giving in, he packed up and left, choosing his peace over the fame and massive checks. That bold move shook the industry because nobody saw it coming. When he finally came back, the rumors jumped into overdrive. Some started wondering if powerful people behind the scenes were trying to push him into a corner similar to the stories floating around about Kevin Hart. A few fans believe Chappelle's sudden exit was his way of breaking free from silent pressure coming from serious influencers. Chappelle later talked about how intentionally he was put under heavy stress while working in Hollywood. But even with all that going on, he stood strong. He refused to bend for anyone, even when millions were on the table. That honesty gave people a rare peek into how the industry can push entertainers to step over their own moral lines just to chase ratings and keep the machine running. But Chappelle's not the only name linked to this mysterious conversation. Kevin Hart keeps getting pulled back into it too, mostly because of his longtime bond with Jay-Z. Fans with sharp eyes pointed out one moment on Kevin's show, Heart to Heart, that felt strange to them. They were talking about motivating the next generation, and Jay-Z started speaking on how he uses Rock Nation to guide new talent by sharing his story. But what really made people sit up wasn't the speech, it was the energy in the room right after. Kevin made a subtle comment about the room with the door behind it, and the whole vibe changed instantly. Viewers swear Jay-Z shot him a serious look, sharp enough to make Kevin fall silent without another word. It came off like he might have said something he wasn't supposed to mention, and Jay-Z shut it down with just one stare. That moment had folks online playing detective, slowing the clip down and replaying it frame by frame. To them, the tension felt too real, too sudden, like there was an unspoken rule that Kevin had crossed, even if only for a second. Now with all these whispers circling around Kevin, Chappelle's past comments, and Jay-Z's reaction, people are starting to wonder if there's more to this story than just friendly conversations and business deals. The clip might look harmless to someone watching casually, but for others it raised serious questions that still haven't been answered. When you look at what Dave Chappelle has shared about Hollywood and the hidden pressure inside it, that moment suddenly feels way deeper. His interviews have always shown the same fearless honesty that made him who he is, and this time was no different. Even with all his success, Chappelle has kept his distance from the tighter Hollywood circles, choosing to move on his own path while others left the country searching for creative freedom. But one interview with James Lipton sent conspiracy watchers into a frenzy. Fans became convinced that Chappelle was quietly hinting at a link to the Illuminati. His bold comments about the emotional pressure and breakdowns of certain big names made some viewers feel like he was stepping into risky territory, as if he was revealing things certain people wanted hidden. He said, "A weak person cannot get to sit here and talk to you. Ain't no weak people talking to you." Then he added, "So what is happening in Hollywood? Nobody knows. The worst thing to call somebody is crazy, is dismissive. I don't understand this person, so they're crazy. That's BS. People are not crazy. They're strong people. Maybe the environment is a little sick." This statement hit hard and had people looking around like, what environment is he talking about? Chappelle even mentioned wanting to escape to a farm far away from the pressure and strange energy he felt in the entertainment world. Then there's Kevin Hart's tie to Diddy, which has fans wondering if Kevin might be caught up in something questionable too. And to really understand that situation, we gotta bring up a legend, Sinbad. Back in the day, Sinbad was a true force in comedy, but over the years he's been surprisingly quiet. Recently though, he started opening up about why he stepped back, and somehow Kevin Hart is right in the middle of that conversation. Sinbad claimed that certain people in the industry wanted Kevin to take his spot. After Sinbad disappeared from the scene, Kevin started shaping his own lane, moving to New York, grinding night after night in tough clubs, dealing with the same harsh crowds as everyone else. Nothing came easy. He worked through rejection and setbacks, but his persistence, sharp timing, and unique style eventually made him a household name. Hit shows, blockbuster movies, sold-out comedy tours. Kevin climbed the ladder through serious hustle. His rise showed real work ethic and hunger, and nobody can deny that. But now, even with all that, fans can't help but ask what happened to Sinbad, a man once loved globally. Sadly, health problems, tax issues, and bankruptcy slowed him down, turning a powerful career into one filled with struggle. Hollywood has seen this story too many times. Superstars living big, then left exposed once the spotlight shifts. Now there are whispers that the FBI might start taking a closer look at Kevin Hart, mainly because of his link to Diddy. With Diddy dealing with heavy legal issues, that connection could turn into a serious problem for Kevin, who's already dealing with his own controversies. Some people think that the same powerful forces rumored to run Hollywood might be guiding Kevin, and others pulling strings behind the scenes, and his run-ins with other celebrities haven't helped. If anything, they've added more heat to the situation. Dave Chappelle, on the other hand, never hesitates to speak on the darker parts of fame. He has always warned people that the bright lights hide a whole different story backstage. To him, what looks like opportunity can sometimes be pressure disguised as success. Chappelle's willingness to call things out while others stay quiet makes his words hit even harder. And when you stack that next to Kevin's rise, Diddy's case, and rumors about hidden networks controlling careers, people start connecting dots that may or may not be there. But the questions keep getting louder. Right now, nobody knows where all this is headed. But one thing is clear: when figures like Chappelle talk about Hollywood's unseen side, people listen. His raw honesty about how people in the industry get pressured, controlled, or pushed to bend who they are has made Dave Chappelle one of the few voices people still trust. He'll joke about the truth, but he'll make sure you hear every bit of it loud and clear. Now everything feels like it's coming full circle. Diddy's situation has people going back, rewatching old clips, studying friendships, and looking at every move with fresh eyes. His parties, his business deals, the people around him, it's all under the microscope. And somehow Kevin Hart's name keeps sliding into the conversation. Whether that connection came from business, friendship, or something behind the scenes, you can't deny both of their paths have been packed with fame, influence, and the kind of secrets Hollywood never once exposed. And right in the middle of all this is Dave Chappelle, the one person who's never been afraid to shine a light where others won't, no matter how uncomfortable it gets. So what do you think about everything going on? Drop your thoughts below, share this with a friend, hit like and subscribe, and let us know what you believe in the comments. We'll catch you in the next one.